Hello, everybody. How is everybody feeling today? Right, here we are, energized for a new live video. All right, how am I looking? Am I looking fine? Let me just check on here and see if I can look a little bit better. All right, yeah, something like that. And something like that. That should be a little bit better looking, with the loot and stuff. All right, maybe a little bit of a no, not that one. Not that one. Let's set this one to 0. That's good. And I'm going to leave it as it is. All right, good. So welcome everybody, and welcome to this new live stream. I hope the music is all right. I hope you are all, listening to me very well, and everything is running fine. All right, so everybody seems to be here. Everybody seems to be happy with how things sounds and how things are looking. So that's it. We made it. Let me just show you what we were fighting, for 2 days, 2 complete days, fighting this thing right here. And that is Unreal Engine 5.2. All right. So, I downloaded 5.22, the pure 5.2. And also I downloaded the 5.2 preview 1. So in the beginning, the first thing that I tried to do was to compile this one. I mean the 5.2, and it was a miserable experience. Like nothing was working, a lot of fails, things were not compiling well. So what I did was, right, it may be, it was like a Saturday, right? And maybe someone left something, uncommitted, in Friday, and maybe the thing was not building right. So I knew that this 5.2 preview 1, it's been a while since someone did any commit. So if you check down here the commits, so this is the Epic Games Unreal Engine GitHub, right? And here you are going to have access to the actual Unreal source, right, to be downloaded and compiled on your own. This thing is like a living organism. This thing is changing like a lot every day. And if you want to check out those commits, there are many ways of showing that. But what this means, commits behind release, means that from the start of this new branch that is Unreal Engine 5, this is the number of commits that, or changes to the code, or additions to the code that have happened. And these 9,000 that are here are the commits ahead. This is from release. So release right now is 5.1.1. So this means that they have almost like 10,000 commits ahead from release. All right. If you check 5.2, for example, this one is 9,289, right? So if we now check 5.2, right? So they stop here, and this is almost ready. Maybe there are, there is some quality assurance and stuff like that they need to run, and Minior's, fixes. But if you check now, 5.2, that one is a lot further. This one has many more commits. So that means that from this is what 5.2 actual, publish is going to be, right? So this one should be a little bit further ahead, but in many ways, because it's not a final product like preview 1, then you're going to have, for sure you're going to have issues to compile. There are going to be crashes and stuff like that. So if we check, that thing that I just told you, like, all right, since February the 18, no one has done any commits in preview 1, so that means that this thing is like almost ready, you know, to be shipped in launcher. I'm guessing again this might be, you know, a lot of, you know, testing and seeing that everything is all right. And you know, sometimes there are things that are external to Unreal. For example, I know that they were messing around with Quixel, and Quixel will have like a new version of a plugin for 5.2, and you know, maybe that is not ready, and that's why, you know, there are, you know, waiting a little bit to completely. This is just me trying to find a reason why, you know, 5.1 preview 1 5.2 preview 1 is not out yet. But yeah, so as you can see, you know, the last, you know, couple of commits, you know, or busy days was in February the 14th, right? So yeah, this thing has been almost ready for, you know, quite some time. So now everybody is, you know, in 5.2, you know, at full speed, you know, making it ready to be the final 5.2 that I guess it's going to be shown in the so if you don't know this thing, let me just search here very fast. So Unreal Engine GDC 5.2. That's it, and here it is. So if you go to the Unreal Engine blog, here it is. It says right here that the GDC 2023 is going to be hosting, you know, Unreal Engine or Epic Games, you know, and State of Unreal, you know. So this is going to be massive. This is where, you know, they are going to set up, you know, what has happened, you know, in the last couple of years, and where are they pointing to, and what is going to be at least, you know, the near goals of Unreal Engine. So this thing is a must. This thing is something that will happen live, and they are going to be presenting everything live. And of course, there is a wonderful let me just change to my camera pretty fast so I can search it without, you know, where is it? Is it right here? So let me just find it. They're going to have one particular day when they are going to be presenting everything new from Unreal Engine 5.2. So all the features and everything. And that is going to be exciting, mostly because like it is in complete, you know, silence, radio silence. This is the longest radio silence from Epic in terms of Unreal Engine since Unreal Engine 5. So when Unreal Engine 5 came out, like they didn't have like a roadmap or an express roadmap out, but for the longest time, you know, Unreal Engine 4 had this roadmap, you know, public, where you know, had some place where you can go and you would see what they were doing and everything that we're working with at the time, and what was the future and everything. But turns out that didn't happen for 5.2. The thing is complete, you know, radio silence, and I'm, you know, like completely confounded by that fact. So I can't find the actual post here, but never you mind. I'm going to maybe look for it and then post it as a YouTube post so I can share it with you. But yes, there is going to be a full presentation of Unreal 5.2 in this GDC State of Unreal. One of the days are going to be from March 22 to March 24. So, you know, 2 full days, you know, to showcase everything amazing, you know, about Unreal. And yeah, this state of Unreal is going to be great. It's going to be, you know, amazing. And that's it, right? So if you go and search for example, the Unreal roadmap, let me just show you that. There it is. So this is what we have. Like we had, like this was like the first time they moved to this new format, right? 4.26, and then we have 4.27 and 5 and 5.1, but then 5.2 was completely obviated from this thing, and it's so confounding, right? But we can start checking out just by looking at this 5.1, like what is the new thing, and that is mainly what I'm seeing is like animation might be big in 5.2, and maybe in the efforts in the development effort from Epic throughout this year. This might be one of the places where they want to go. I'm guessing like everything new, like Lumen and Nanite and path tracing and everything needs still a couple of work, a little bit more work. But in those terms, I believe it's just fixes, it's just new things that they need to make them work together with everything, and that's going to be it. But then Unreal Engine 5 has its own goals, apart from these new things, these new rendering things, and it's going to be amazing to know about those in the state of Unreal for sure. All right, so without talking anymore, let's go and open it up. So it's right here. You can check it out. It is Unreal Engine 5.2, and I didn't have much time. Like this thing was finally compiled like a couple of hours ago, like 4 hours ago. So I just had time to open it up and see that everything was running. There are a couple of things that are not really running. Like I tried to do like light bake, and it told me that it has issues and it couldn't open it up, do the actual light baking. It has some issues with the version of the actual shaders compiler thing. So yeah, but here it is. Let's create one of these, film and video, and let's create a blank one with ray tracing with started content, just because, right? And let's call it 5.2 test. Again, this is really not 5.2. This is 5.2 preview 1, because then again, I'm guessing I rambled too much that I didn't finalize, my idea. And that was that I was having a lot of issues with 5.2, so I downloaded 5.2 preview 1, thinking that was the issue. Then, I was having the exact same issues, trying to compile 5.2, but, millions of debug hours, maybe that was like a very hyperbolic of me, but yeah, a couple of dozens hours of debugging the thing, I made it work, and here it is. So this is going to be 5.2 test, and let's create a new one. And so I wasn't too surprised by what I saw. Like there is really no big change into the thing. There are a couple of things that are pretty obvious, mainly things that I think that now are integrated into the template. Remember that we are using right now the virtual production or the TV and film template, and as you're going to see, this is what we get right out of the bat. So first thing, let's dismiss this plugin thing and let's update the project itself, and that's it. Now if you look around, this is the starting map from Unreal Engine 5 default film and TV map, and it's hideous. Like I really don't like it. It doesn't use like anything environmental wise new from Unreal Engine 5, like the environmental it doesn't use the sky atmosphere and a couple of things. Like it is like the old way of lighting, so I hate it. I completely despise having this in the virtual production one, right? Because Unreal Engine 5 is all about dynamic lighting, and this one also again, I'm rambling again, but I just want to show you that if you go to the light mask advanced, you're gonna see that it is baked. This thing is map, a level that is already baked, is pre-baked. And if you check, all the lights are going to be in stationary or static. So yeah, this is like not the best effort, right? But if we look around, we can start checking things, that are happening here that doesn't meet your eye. And for example, this thing is new. This thing right here, it really called, my attention. And it is toggle VR, virtual reality mode, shift V. So it seems like the VR theme is now right there for us to use, right, as a normal workflow, right, inside Unreal. I'm guessing like they did some fixing, right, of the different ways, because if you open this up, you're going to see that you have different modes, and right now there is only one mode called virtual scouting mode. I know that and this is a mode that doesn't need you to simulate or to do the VR preview thing. This thing works in editor without you playing, but again, I do own, a Quest 2, so maybe for next live, it's going to be a wonderful thing, right, to start testing this out and see if they're really fixed, many of the things that, were happening in this VR. They were good, but a little bit clunky at times. And of course, there is another mode that is not the virtual scouting mode, that is the editor mode, the VR, editor mode that will allow you to have like everything, like a content browser on it and a sequencer on it, and you're going to be able to, open, any of the modes, and all those different modes windows are right there, and you're going to be able to pick, the tools and use them. That one is great, but I don't see it happening here. It might be because I am right now in the virtual production template. That might be why the virtual scouting mode is the only one shown here. Maybe if we create like a game template, it will have the normal one in, but we're going to test this next week for sure. That is going to be our next live. All right, so let me check out and see if we have some. Right, it sounds exciting. Of course, everything about 5.2, it's exciting. And, it's like unwrapping a gift, because we don't know what's in it. Like if we look at it, then, nothing stands out like too much. Like we have a couple more things down here, but then again, what was all the secret? Why we don't have like a roadmap for this one? Like what are they, storing, right? Hiding somewhere, what are those fixes or new things that are here? And that's what we can discover, just by, downloading and suffering a little bit to make it compile. I'm going to be, playing with this thing the full week. This is like me opening it for the first time. So this thing right here is the inside, all right? So inside is the new debugging system workflow for Unreal. And so you can start, tracing. So this thing works outside of the engine. It is, its own .exe application. You turn it on, and then you can start tracing the different things that you can connect to it, and you can see how they are running, how much impact they have in your game or your experience, and something. So this is really not, even though it's new, it is Unreal inside, so it's not a brand new thing. Having it there, I guess, is very good, very cool. Sorry, this one right here. So I'm thinking like this thing, as you see, I'm tracing right now. So this should be sending information to inside. And now you can stop tracing, and then you can go to inside and see, how your level, right, is working right there. We have this one, and I'm guessing this is the actual snapshot. Yeah, but this is not the. We should not confound it with the actual level snapshot. This is like a snapshot from inside. This is like you saving, all those traces from, like a picture, right? Not like a recording like this one right here, right? So all these is just, that that inside thing, right? Then we have, of course, the derived data. This was there, before the old save, and then we have this revision control. I'm guessing like everything down here is just the same. And let's start digging out and see what we can find. So one thing that I didn't look out is that apparently for 5.2 there was this new thing called Avalanche, and Avalanche is like this blueprint, new way of doing blueprint without really using blueprint, and it is not by default here. So I was looking for it like Avalanche in a tool, so it's not there, and in Windows Avalanche, and it's not there. And if I look down here and I try to create like an Avalanche, it's not there. And here, actor Avalanche, no, it's not there. So I'm guessing maybe it's like an external plugin that will be delivered maybe with the actual 5.2, not the preview, or that it was simply delayed into 5.3 maybe. It is a big deal, that one, because it's going to be a massive new way of working with Unreal, especially for doing things for broadcasting maybe. Yeah, I mean, let's wait and see how it looks. I know that I can talk about this one, and you may be thinking like, this dude is going to get in trouble, but no. This thing was talked in, what was the last time? In Unreal Fest. So in the Unreal Fest, they showcase, I'm one of those freaks who look all the videos from the Unreal Fest. And at some point, showing everything new about Unreal Engine, someone showcased Avalanche, and it is amazing. It is truly amazing. If you can, I can remember really in which video. If I start looking for it, I might find it and share it with you. But if you want to check out, look at the Unreal Fest. I'm guessing there is one for broadcasting or live broadcasting. That is where you're going to find that one. So I'm sad that it's not really here. So I wanted to start playing with it like as soon as I could, but it's simply not here. So let's check out, new things, right? So another new thing that I just, find out today is that if you go to the Epic Game Marketplace and you search for free, there is a new addition from the Quixel people, and it is the new trees. So these one are apparently ready for 5.1. This is the first time that they have this thing ready for 5.1, meaning that what this means, being ready for 5.1 means that they are going to be ready for Nanite, right? So they should be working for Nanite for sure. So I download them and I now want to see. The thing is that if I try to add it to a project, my 5.2 project won't show here. Show all projects maybe? Oh, here it is. I can. Yeah. Sure. So add it for 5.1, and let's see if I can add it to my current project. I already downloaded. So I want to check out, these trees with their are prepared for Nanite inside 5.2, because I want to see if they make any new things to Nanite support, and especially things like world position offset and stuff. The things are not completely, they are supported, but clearly they are too heavy right now in terms of shadows and in terms of making the whole thing work, right? So let's check it out and let's see if there are really good. So content. Did I add it to the wrong place? Add to the project. Yeah, I believe I added to this one. Huh. All right. So show me where you are. Show an explorer. Content. Nope. It is not here. All right. What just happened? All right, let me try it again. So yep, added to my project 5.2 thingy, and it says other here. It's simply because it doesn't know, because it is a compiled version. So let me try it once more and see if now it truly adds it to the content. And let's wait a little bit. Right, so there are plenty of things that I want to start, testing out. Things that I know that are completely broken in 5.1. Like the first thing that really blows my mind, that is happening is that memory exhaustion for video. And that thing, if you add a couple of, Megascan things to your, here it is. If you add a couple of, and first of all, let's get rid of this hideous place, right? Let's create a new basic. There it is. This is much better. Right, so one of the things that I know that we can, test is adding a couple of Megascan stuff in. And if Unreal doesn't exhaust the memory up here, that is going to be wonderful, right? That was one of the main things that I believe they should have already fixed. And let's take a look at these foliage right here. So let's go geometry, let's go simple wind, and let's, I'm going to simply right click on it, or drag it and drop it here. So it's already loaded? No, it is. Now it's preparing. I love to do these kind of things because I hate to drag something and to save your map, and the things start preparing shaders, and you don't know if you really click on it, or if it's going to appear. I rather, simply drag it and drop it, and then release it, and wait for the thing to be totally compiled. And I'm guessing now it's compiled. Oh, now I don't know if this is new or if you can catch it from there. Allow me to make this thing a little bit bigger. Where is the size of the thingy? I know you're around here. All right, thumbnail size. Let's put it at large. So can you see it move? It does have a little bit of an animation in the thumbnail. I don't know if this was there before. Maybe I'm just delusional. All right, so here it is. New trees from Quixel that should be prepared for 5.1. So we can say that this one should work with Nanite. And I'm guessing if this thing came out already, Nanite, they are. Look at that. Nanite support, and they have the preserve area. So these are huge, good news, right? And again, this one is already working for 5.1. So if you want to do tests, and I know I will, having these in 5.1, a bunch of these there and a bunch of these here, and see where is working much better. I'm believing that it's going to be on this one. And let's check out this next thing. So it should be moving around. So it should have a little bit of world position offset. All right, 3D Cheek, I hope they begin to update all their projects. That maybe will be upon us to make it, because really many things, like, even though they say that they are working for a version, that doesn't mean that they really change it or update it. Like, for example, one of the most beautiful maps that I have seen made by Epic and Quixel is the medieval game. That thing is impressive. It looks so wonderful. It is so well optimized. It runs, on any platform that you want. But the thing is that it's pretty old. And even though it says that it works in 5, I'm guessing like the only thing that means is that it opened and didn't crash on opening. And that's it. They say that, yeah, it's safe to open in 5 and it's going to work. But thing is that there are a couple of things that they use there. Like, I believe they use like a pseudo landmass thingy that is not the actual landmass that we use right now, and it is like not compatible. And as soon as you start like playing with it, the things explode, like the landscape goes kaboom and everything goes to hell. So yeah, I'm guessing like we are going to be the one, opening up those things and curating them and make them really, really compatible, right? Like converting them all to nanite and seeing that everything is working right. And for example, those issues with landmass, we should redraw all those splines and make it really, really future proof, right? I don't think that nobody in Epic is going to be doing that work, and and it's our turn to get all those all contents and make them work and then submit them to them. They are going to be completely open, right, to receive them, and maybe they're not going to be in place in the launcher, but they're going to be maybe learning contents, right, that they're going to be able to be found in the launcher. I don't know if you check it out, but if you go to home, you're going to find that there is here in news, there is this thing discovering the old West Learning project. Like this thing was particular all free content from Epic, and somebody open it up and make it better and then re-upload it, right? And this is what they did, and it's amazing. And now you can go to the marketplace, and now it's a learning project, and this is made with everything that the old one has. But this one, I'm guessing, because it's already for 5.1, it works completely with nanite and with all the new things. Like this thing is based on this thing right here. So let me go free. I know I have it here. Here. So if I go library and I go West, this one is the Western, I'm guessing, like it's this one. Don't quote me on this one, but I believe it's this one. So they took this one right here and make it work for Unreal Engine 5, 5.1, and did like a new map and everything. So I invite you all, to open up all these old projects, right? This is one that says, 420 to 5.1, but if you open really this thing in 5.1, you won't have anything supported for, like, it will have like screen space reflections, like no GI, and like Lumen is not working here. So it opens in 5.1, but it's really not completely curated and really working with nanite, Lumen, and shadow maps, virtual shadow maps, and etc. So this might be a thing that we need to do on ourselves, and then submit it and call the attention of Epic and saying, all right, this is your thing, this is looking much better that you had before, and on top of it, I change it and make it a little bit more, I did my own thing with it, and I'm really sure that they really will accept it and will place it in the learning, in the free learning things. As you see, there is a new here in free. There is this UE online learning, and they are accepting like everything that you can create, with free stuff from either Epic Marketplace or Epic Megascans. You are going to be able to submit it, right? So let me know if you have something really good to submit, because I have the contact to make that happen, all right? So again, everything that is completely for free, everything done just with free content marketplace stuff and free Megascans. Everything from Megascans is free, but yeah, just those two, all right? So yeah, that's a thing. So now let's check out. So we have more comments. Seeing this for the 5.2 is really exciting. It is, of course. It's only sort of works. Yeah, that's it. That's a great idea. Of course, it is. Let's do it. Any words on Unreal Engine and the implementation of the new AI that has been making rounds? All right, yeah, that thing is mass AI. No, mass. Oh my God, what's the name? Well, the last thing that I heard was that for some reason it's like in this weird place as Chaos was for Unreal Engine 4. like they had it working, but just for C++ projects, and it doesn't have like this implementation for anything that has to do with Blueprint. So I'm guessing like they need to really keep working on it and have all those C classes transported to Blueprint, so then you can use it without having to create a C++ project to make it work. That's the last thing that I heard of, of the Mass AI. I can't remember the name, so maybe if we go here and here, we can check it out, how it is called. It does have several different components, like where is it? Blueprint. Nope. Chaos. Pipeline. Where is it? Unreal Engine 5, maybe was where I see it. USD, bridge, thingy. Here it is, mass entity. This one right here. So, mass entity is the one that I was talking about. Like this one does only work with C++ projects, and I believe you can use it. I'm not really sure. I know that the thing that it's preventing this thing from being released to the public is that it doesn't have the Blueprints equivalents of all the classes, all right? And the same for Zone Graph, right? But State Tree, I believe it's already working, and this one is really impressive. Like this, it doesn't matter if you use Mass Entity. This thing, it's its own beast, because what this does is for very huge maps with lots of AI, you're going to find out that pretty much every one of them is going to be running some sort of AI tree. Well, what this does is, all right, if there is the casualty of maybe 5 of them or 10 of them to be doing the exact same thing, they are going to be grouped into only one, execution thread, which is amazing, because then you're not really having your CPU running all those different things, even though they are the same thing. So this thing like groups, different behaviors that are happening, at the same times all the way around, and this thing makes them only one thread. And then when they divert from that tree, then they jump out of that thread and they are assigned to another one that is common. So in the end, what you should expect with this state tree is that you are only going to be running like the tree once, and everybody who is doing the same thing is going to be in the same thread. And you could, jump between, those 3 branches, and still going to be grouped with a couple of other people, doing the exact same thing as you. So yeah, this is mind blowing. I hope that really they get that thing working pretty soon. I got the AI working for Mass Crowd today. The one used in the Matrix demo. So that is, Mass Entity for sure. Is that what you're thinking about, Midwest? I was referring to something along the lines of ChatGPT. Oh no, we're not that far from it. There is a game even that does use AI to develop the actual fighting. I can't remember the name of it. It was made in Real Engine 4, so it's like really old. Like the implementation should be, pretty easy. Yeah, sure thing. All right. So let's continue. Let's see what else we have down here, and let's start checking out this tree. All right, so let's go on check it with Nanite. Oh, we have a new light map UV. This thing is new. Evaluate WPO. All right, seems like it is evaluating WPO, world position offset. All right, cool. That is amazing. All right, what if we look at the whole thing, the overview? Yeah, there it is. We have triangles, clusters, instances, primitives. Everything seems to be working. If we go really away, we don't lose, the volume, the silhouette of the thing because of the preserve area option that is on by default, which is, amazing. And now let's check out another thing. So what happened with our dearly beloved shadows, because those were the things that were not working pretty well. You know, everything new about Unreal Engine is better than Unreal Engine 4, but you know, virtual shadow maps are, you know, an in-between, because they do look much better, at least for direct I mean for dynamic lighting. All right, but they are heavier, you know, they are a lot, you know, harder to render out. So let's check them out and see now what we have there. So let's go virtual shadow map and let's play with the catch page. So this is working as before. So everything that looks red is something that is being catched, you know, each frame. Then we have these things that are blue, and those are it is weird. There are rendering some part of this zone in a cache way, and there are other parts of it that are not being cached. That's why it's showing blue. So if you add a character here, it should show red, because that thing it's like the full component of the actors are not supported by Nanite, and therefore they're not supported by virtual shadow maps, and those should really show red. Let's see if we can make that comparison like really fast. So let's go here, and then nope, that's not what I want. I want here add, and let's add a feature or content pack, and let's add the third person mannequin. And this is also a thing of the past, like doing this to have a proper mannequin in your stuff, in your level, is not a thing anymore. Sorry, you should be going to the Epic Game Launcher, and if you go to free, there it is. Now it is a new Mannequin Pack. I have not, I'm yet to acquire it. And here it is. Now you have its own pack that you are going to be able to add to your project without having to do that thing that I just did there. It comes with a little bit of a scene, it seems, and it comes already with the control brick and everything working that way. So yeah, maybe we should also, try this one also, bring it in. So let me add it and let me shop for it, and it's $0. Thank you, Epic. And right, that's it. Now it's here. Now it shouldn't say free, it should say add to project. Here it is. All right, so I'm going to test it here, but let me now get rid of everything that I just added. That was third person character and level prototype. Like, I now can get rid of all these like this, because I'm going to add, these ones to show all projects. Yep. And for 5.1, add to project. And if I go here, this thing is still trying to delete the third person template that I just added. So let's see how it goes. All right, go away. I don't need you anymore. All right. Already exist. Yeah, they do exist for now. If you give me just a couple more seconds, they should be gone. I believe that there should be something showing Explorer. There may be something inside here that is not a thing from Unreal, so it cannot. Yeah, it should be maybe somewhere inside here. All right, let's do something. Yes. Replace everything. Let's see how it goes. There it is. It should be now right here. So now it doesn't come with all that, like levels and stuff. There's just, the mannequins, which is great. This new way is the way to go. And you have your control brick right here. And let me just check if now we have different No, there's only one, which I have a beef with, having only one control brick mannequin for both characters. I'm going to show you why in a second. So now I can add this character here, and I can go mannequin, meshes, and there are no meshes here? Huh. Oh, something is wrong here. Right, add to project. Let's do it again. This happened with the other one, right? I had to add it twice. So yeah. Replace it. Are you really doing something? Character, mannequin, meshes? Maybe it was because I just deleted those. So, that's a shame. So let me maybe restart this thing. Yeah, save it as a main. That's it. Let's wait for it to restart. Will it restart? Because this thing is not our normal, real. This is a thing that, that was just compiled a couple of hours ago. Right. Amber, hello. I think I set asset not compatible with 5.2. Oh, it always says that, and there's not going to be like anything compatible with 5.2 for a while. Thing is that you can add it, download it for a particular version, and then you can add it, to updating as soon as you add them to a different project. What you should be sure is that if you download it for 5.1, that you add it either for 5.1 and 5.2, the current or the next version. Like, don't go and add it to a couple of versions up, and much less a couple of versions down, or any versions down, or down version it by any means, because that surely won't work. Oh no, now it's compiling shaders, and lots of them. That is not good. All right, something happened in the way, and now Unreal decided that it needs to compile a bunch of shaders. So we're going to have a little bit of a time, talking. So maybe I can show you a little bit of this thing right here. All right, so if any one of you will really want to try, compiling the source of Unreal Engine, is not that hard, really. Maybe this particular version, and again, this might be only my case, because there are a couple of things that I'm doing that are not, normal, in at least not considered normal when you are building the engine from the source. And those are that I'm running Unreal. I'm running Windows 11. That's not great as a workbench. And another thing is that I'm using Visual Studio 2022. So like the latest version of the thing. Quite because they say that it's faster. I don't know, the thing compile for many hours, like at least 4 hours to do a full compilation from start to end. And this is not a bad machine. Like, this thing really, this thing has 16 processors, 8 logical, 16 virtual, and I do have tons of memory, 64 gigabytes of memory, and this thing runs 4.3, something like that. That's the highest that it goes, and still, that thing, spend a lot of time, compiling. That being said, if you have Unreal Engine, Windows 10, and you settle down with Virtual Studio Community 2019, that is the one that they really said that you should use. You should not go above and beyond that one. And that's one of the things why a compiling machine, it's so boring, because you really don't want to run many different things there that are not supported. You really want to stick with things that are proven, and that everything is that boring. You don't want to go and make things too much avant-garde in that regard. But again, if you really want to use it, like if you follow everything that says here, like for Windows, like go to GitHub, create an account, and then you bind your Unreal account to the GitHub account, so you get access to Unreal Engine source. Then you download the version that you want to compile. You download the Visual Studio community thing that is for free. All right, and that's it. You simply follow, these. It's this simple, like 7 steps, and you should be able to have Unreal running and compile on your side. It does implies that you need to download the source, and then it does look for the new thing. So every time that once you do that, you're going to end up with something like this. So if I go here, you're going to see that not here, but here, I do have, this Unreal Engine 5.2 Preview 1 folder. And if you open it up, it does look a little bit like, a normal Unreal Engine installation from the marketplace, from the launcher. But it does have, it's a lot bigger because it does have the compile engine plus, all the source. But the thing is that every time, if I want to keep up, with all the new versions, maybe not from this one, because this one is preview 1 and it won't have any version, maybe preview 2, if any, right? But then if you have like 5.2, you're going to be able to hit here this setup, and this thing goes to the clouds and get everything new, check all the dependencies, and then download everything new, and then you generate the project files, and then you can start again Visual Studio, and you're going to be able to keep compiling it, and it won't be as bad as the first time that you do it. That being said, let's check out if Unreal. All right, we are getting there. So let's keep reading comments. Was there something added recently about speeding up shader compilation? Well, about that, let me tell you that I for some reason, tried to do like a light baking because I wanted to remove, some light bake that was on some map. And it told me that the current shader compilation engine from this particular version that I have was outdated and was not the new thing. So it might be a thing that they change that, to make shaders compile faster. For sure, that's one of the things that, Unreal is not good at it, right? Having only one shader that does everything really makes the code a lot more complex. And every time you want to compile it, it will compile the same big shader, right? For no matter what application that you use. So that means that if you have like a very simple material and a very complex material, they will, last the same compiling, simply because they are the same, right? Mesh, the same material. There is no different materials inside Unreal Engine. That is a good thing, and also, a bad thing because of that. Right, Unreal DevOps. If that plugin, you can open it up in a text editor and set the version to 5.2. Nation compiling it, then you can use. Yeah, I have done that. It's really shady, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Really, I'm not having any issues right now particularly with plugins, because that one is not a plugin. That is part of the actual engine. It is the shader compile workers. It's what it's called, because nowadays it not only it is like if you remember how we used to bake lights, and that is like the swarm agent. Like it was like a third-party thing that used like different machines to compile. In this case, to build lights in the scene. They have something like that for shading, and what it does is that it will use more than one thread, and you can set up like how many threads you want to be running there. I can take you there. Why not? We can take a look at that because we are right here, right? So if you go to engine and then you go to config and then you go to the base engine. Where are you, base engine? Here it is. So if you open it up and you search for compile, maybe, here it is. So this thing right here is the DevOps options. Yeah, exactly what you were talking about, right? And you have here this number that says percentage use shader compiling thread. And again, this thing is you changing something from the base engine. So if you really mess this out, you're going to have to ask for someone, to send you this file. So either create a copy before you start messing around with it, or simply not mess around with it. But, I have changed this from all my different versions of Unreal. And this is because this 50%, it's saying Unreal, like, don't use all the processors of your machine to compile shaders. So you can take this a little bit lower. And, if you set this to 10, on my end, if this thing is at 50 and we'll start compiling shaders, it will only use half, like 6 of my 12. No, it's like 8 of my 16 threads, right? From my CPU. And if I drop this to 10, then it will use something like 11, from 10 to 11, which leaves me with one CPU at least, to be watching, YouTube or doing other stuff with it. And only those 11 things are going to be at 100%, of your CPU, which is great, right? So it is really conservative, that 50%. And if you want your stuff to be rendering much higher, you can use this. So this is really what that oh my god, I should open this thing and show it to you. This thing right here, it is called, come on, all right. So if you go UE5 and is it UE5 programs? Yep. And no, it is here in programs. Is the shader compiler worker, this one right here. So this is called worker pretty much because what it does is it will pack, whatever needs to be compiled and then assign it to different workers, and those workers being, each and every one of your CPUs, right? So when I try to do a thing like, all right, go in, build, and build all levels. So I should not have hit build all levels, because then it's going to do a bunch of other stuff apart. Yeah, and maybe do that exactly. Let me turn on again Unreal very fast. So it's going to tell me like you have like an older version of that file. So it's not the one. And again, because it's preview 1 and it's not maybe the one that they are going to be launching at the end, clearly, right? And because it's a preview, meaning that it's, for us to break and inform, what is broken. This might be like the worst Unreal experience right now in terms of crashing and stuff like that. But if you go build and you try to build the lights only, you get this thing here. Unreal Light Mask executable is outdated. All right, so it's the Light Mask, the one that was telling me. I thought it was the shading thing that was not there. But yeah, that being said, this is what we get. So now let's see if I do have characters and I do have mannequins and meshes, and there are here. All right, cool. So let me take this mannequin, drop it there. This is a very huge tree, right? Now that I see it in context, like this thing is like the tree. All right, this is like a 20 meters, sort of tree. And this dude doesn't have any material on it. This is not good. No bueno. Right, this might be whatever you know, the thing that Amber was saying, like, yeah, it is prepared for 5.1, and if you know, try to make it work on 5.2, there may be a couple of things that are not working here. Like, I really don't care about that, you know, characters right now. We may import a metahuman just to check out if everything is working well in that regard. But for now, I just want to check out, like, the thing that I was trying to do is go in here to virtual shadow maps and go to the cage page. Oh, look at that. Now it's blue. So it's not red. So all these little squares are the dicing up of the virtual shadow map. All right, those are 128 each. All right, the big map, the full map, each and every one of these circles have a 16K virtual shadow map texture assigned just to, you know, bake that light, right? And it is cut, right, in little, you know, squares, and each and every one of those squares is 128 pixels, you know, squared. And that's why, if you know, that this is why, you know, virtual shadow map is so amazing. If you go nearer and nearer and nearer, you get, you know, smaller and smaller samples of the same 128 pixels. So if you know, maybe this is like as far as it will go. If I go here and type clip, camera near clip, sorry, near clip, there it is, set near clip plane. Let's set it to 1. Now we can really get to town. Yeah, this is as far as it will go. So this is at 120 pixel, you know, square of shadows, right? And as you see, you have like perfect contact. If this dude were to be a little bit lower, so we can have like a good contact on it, you can see that you have a perfect contact. That is the amazing thing about virtual shadow map. Like, it really takes out the need of having anything like occlusion and stuff like that. You have truly contact and true occlusion with this type of shadow. And the only thing is, yeah, these parts are not completely cache. So the more things that you have moving around, like the world position of this nanite tree, or, you know, this character that is not a nanite. And again, this will also happen if you throw in any shape, like a cube, right? This thing is not a nanite shape, so it will calculate it and bake it. But let me show you what might happen. So if I now go to lit and I put these up here and I check out, you know, that my directional light is movable and everything. If I start, you know, going away, you can see that there was there. Can you see the pop of the shadow of the cube? It's around there. So there goes the shadow from the character. And if you go a little bit away, then pop goes the one from the cube. But the nanite shape, you can go all the way out as far as you can go, and that shadow will be there forever at any distance. And that is because it's a nanite shape. So that is why, you know, there are you know, device that way. The distance, the actual distance of where it will stop rendering that shadow, not only that, but there are at some point also changing, you know, the type of shadow. It will change from virtual shadow maps to distance field shadow, at least for things that are not, you know, deformable like this one. So if you have something that is not nanite and still casting a shadow, at some point you don't notice it, but that thing is changing to a far distance shadow map, and then it will simply disappear, right? Like any other type of shadows. There is, if you look at the virtual shadow map documentation, there is a command where you can type the actual distance at which that shadow will disappear. And it's not a distance, it is a pixel size thing. So if it doesn't cover, you know, whatever area of pixels of your screen, then it will simply, you know, not render it anymore. All right. So we still have 9 people and 10 people now. All right, cool. And we have more than 1 hour, you know, in it. but it's great. We can keep, adding stuff here and see if we can make this thing break, right? Because I really want to check out if the memory exhaustion thing from the video was fixed. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but let's try. So what I'm going to do is I think I can make it fail if I, create a landscape. Let's make it not that big of a landscape. This might be good enough, right? And let's simply create this one. And now let's jump to our foliage tool and let's add our European bleach thing, geometry, simple wind. I believe I'm thinking like before 5.2, I preferred pivot painter because the simple wind, when you converted them to nanite, they started, jumping around because nanite doesn't have any type of vertex painting, at least not in a per actor, fashion. So things that were driven by a vertex from a vertex painting were not working. So the simple wind was not working. Now that it's working, I will prefer this over the other because it is simpler, right? So what I did right there is to grab everything, drag and drop it there, leave Unreal on its own, to make all the preparations for the thing. And once everything is prepared, then I'm going to add it, to the foliage actor list. And then I'm going to go nuts and paint a bunch of those there and see if we can make Unreal fail. In the meantime, I'm going to be doing another thing. And that is that if I go here and here, and auto landscape. This is from our friend, and I need to give all the praises that this work needs. This is the auto landscape from Unreal Sensei, and if at any point in your life you're wondering how to do a good landscape and you feel like your time has come to start doing a good landscape material, forget about it. Someone jump on you on that regard. Like, this dude made the best landscape material that I have seen so far, and it's there for free. If you want, go to his. I'm going to link it in the doobly-doo, and because that dude is a genius. I love to work out issues, but he's a really good technical artist in that regard. So I'm going to copy this out like this, and I'm going to paste it on my documents and Unreal projects, and my projects 5 to test. I believe that is the one that I have open right here, content, and yeah, it's this one. So I'm going to paste this thing here. I'm going to have the auto landscape working here, and this thing seems to be mostly done. It's still thinking about it. But in the meantime, I can, jump out of the foliage mode, and I'm going to select this landscape. And now I'm going back to content, outer landscape, materials, and this outer landscape right here, I'm going to create a material instance out of it. Oh, this thing used to be on top of the GLTF proxy thing. All right, they swap it. 5.2 new things, and that's it. And all right, Unreal is thinking. It's never a good thing when Unreal start thinking. All right, so we have more questions here. How do you feel about Brushify for landscape materials? They are good. Brushify is the best example of Unreal creating the baseline of things, and then people grabbing it and make it their own and making a better project and charging them money for it, as they should, right? Like, the next thing should be like, for example, the Ninja Fluids for BDB stuff. Like, the actual support was already inside Unreal, but what they did was taking one notch. In the case of Ninja Fluid, like 10 notches up. Like Brushify are based completely on landscape, landmass blueprint brushes, right? Granted, they use their own, alpha brushes, and they have those magnificent things, right, that they add to it, but it is nothing out of what you can achieve. Again, this is, like the same issue with the landscape, the outer landscape from Unreal Sensei, right? Like, should you really, try to do something like Brushify is doing once it's already done? The same goes for a couple of fluid dynamic oceans things that are in the marketplace. They are all based in the water plugin from Unreal, but they took it broke as it was, they make it better, and they put a lot of flavor in it and put their own textures on it, and a couple of caustics and stuff that were not working originally, and now they have a very amazing product that they can sell out. So if you ask me for Brushify, not only that, but the actual, what you said there, not only the Fluid Ninja people are a bunch of geniuses. The Brushify owner, it's like one of the best technical artists that I have seen working in Unreal. Like, they are artists, like they have used that on the field, so they know what you really want out of those things, and that's something that you really need to appreciate, right? When we are talking about buying or sitting down and figuring it out until you get it done. If it's not a ton of money, for instance, in the case of Brushify, you can find a couple of those already working for very cheap. So yeah, sure, I really love it. And then you can combine it, with your own stuff, right? So yeah, sure. That is good. All right, this thing is not working because I tried to do two things at the same time, and Unreal say, wah. And now I should go and find my Unreal somewhere. It's not at the top. So where are you, Unreal? Ah, here you are. There you are, Unreal, Mr. Unreal, and task. Go to sleep. You are drunk. All right, let me open up again Unreal Engine 5.2. And I thought I don't know, I had my hopes that I was going to find somewhere really apparent out of it. But clearly it has its own secrets. I believe Nanite should be working best with, world position offset. And it's just a hint that they added that particular preview mode, view mode on Nanite, right? You have now the evaluate thing there. And I wonder if there are more things here. Nope. And inverted shadow map, nope. So yeah. So maybe that thing right there is a thing, right? That it's saying that Nanite works a lot better now with WPO. That's why I was trying to. Let's try it again. So let's delete this and let's create a new landscape. And that's it. All right, maybe I'm going to be smart about this and I'm going to create the material instance before I go do silly things, and I'm going to save this and I'm going to assign this as the actual landscape material, and it's going to be added as soon as I click create. That's it. Now I do have, all right, they didn't fix this one. This one is horrible. The fact is that as soon as you drop a new landscape material, the thing goes like unbelievably bright, and if you have gloom or other effects on top of it, like it's going to be blinding white in your scene. This is not great. But as soon as you go paint in your landscape tools and you start creating those, and I should save this. Oh, it's saved as main. All right, so sure, let's save it. And as soon as you start creating those layer info things, the assets, then it's going to be completely cool. So yeah, now it's created there. Now we can create that other one there. and let's create them all. So we have everything material layer info wise already there and working. If you really want to use this auto landscape, and I really recommend it, this dude has like everything covered in tutorials about it and everything. I just want to make sure that you go to his webpage and download it from there, because he has his own logistics, right, and statistics about who downloaded things. So I'm not going to offer it from anywhere else but his webpage. So go to his webpage, create an account, and then download this thing. He simply is going to maintain you updated because he does a lot of educational content, and he wants to make sure that you are aware. And again, I'm not promoting, because this dude really charged for his thing, and I'm totally cool with that. I just believe that he's a very cool dude, and I'm using his stuff, and he should have at least the shout out to his channel and to his work for sure. All right, that's it. So now this thing is working, and even though it doesn't have like big textures on it, we have something there working, and we're going to make it maybe a little bit better. But for now, let's go out, let's save everything. Save. So now everything is safe. Now we can go and do the same thing that we tried to do before. That is going to our European beach. Beach? Yeah, it's beach. All right. Maybe I'm saying the wrong thing. I'm hoping YouTube doesn't, put a X rate, to the video just because I said European beach. I don't know how to say it. Maybe it's like that. Maybe it's not. And now I'm in trouble. So I'm going to call it the European tree. And that's good, right? So let's go. Let's go. It does comes with a map. Should I open? Oh, no, this is a zoo. It's not going to be a big thing. But maybe if I open the zoo, then everything is going to be compiled. So maybe I'm going to open it up and just look at these comments while we're doing it. Brushify, yeah, for sure. Fluid Ninja is a great genius for sure. And what's something I'm still figuring out, finding a balance between using asset made by more talented artists and learning the techniques myself. I always get too deep when I try to do it all myself. Well, that is one of the things, right, of having Megascan stuff already there for you to use, is that at some point, everything or at least traditionally, when you were working on a big production, or if you're working for a game company, like everything at the beginning is this proxy, and that proxy, that white boxing that they call, were originally just a couple of white boxes thrown around. The only particularly important thing was that even though it was a box, it has its own asset related to it, and that it has its name, and that it has the size or approximate proportions, right? And then you could start having your artists start throwing things around while your 3D people started modeling, and in turns convert that white cube into whatever it was, like chairs and tables and stuff. But that was all good, and I don't know if this still happens everywhere, but having things from Megascans like really gives you the ability of start working with something already professional and already looking good. It might not be perfect, but at least it will have the full things there. So if you need like chairs and tables and floors and walls and whatever you want for that interior or exterior place, you're going to be able to start using the real thing right there. And then in the end, if you really want to give it your own flavor, you can start either grabbing things already done, right, like that wall, and then taking it out to your particular DCC flavor and working it, re-texturing it, and then import it to the engine, and just will take the place of that thing that it was there, and it's going to be that change will be propagated through your whole amounts of levels that you're working, and that is like the good workflow to follow. So yeah, work with either white boxes or stuff already done, and then in the end, if you want to give it more flavor or your particular thing, start either basing yourself in those things or creating your new things and replacing those assets in your project. So yeah, for sure, it's pronounced like beach. All right, so yeah, I should use. Should we? All right, let me go here and then ask Google beach pronunciation. All right, let's hear it.
Beach.
Oh yeah, it's good. Beach.
Beach.
Beach. All right. Slowly.
Beach.
Beach. All right. It's like B, but with a ch at the end. All right. I won't go and find the other way of saying it because I don't want to get in trouble. But yeah. So now we have the zoo already loaded. So everything should be. What happened to these dude? Why they're all this big and this last one is this chubby little tree there. It looks wrong at some point. All right, good. That's it. So now we can go back to our main where our landscape is and everything seems to be working here. So now we can jump into our foliage. And if we go to our European tree, I'm not going to risk it, guys, really. Enough troubles already. So geometry, simple wind. Let's grab it all, right? And let's drop it. Give me a little bit more space. There it is. Drop it there. That's it. Now we have everything here and we can select them all just because I know that they're going to have this 100 density and that might be like too much. So I'm going to drop it to 1 and let me do one small click right here and see, yeah, this density is like too much. So let's erase, right? And let's go with a little bit less point. Ooh, and let's click. Now it's a little bit better. Maybe too low. So again, let's go halfway, 0.5. Now we're going to go nuts in this in this landscape here, and we're going to be doing this thing. All right, something is not good, and you can see it right there. So apparently, all right, delete, 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 delete. I think I know what it is. So let me do one click and let's check it out. So there are a couple that are good. And then we have these that have this issue. Like they are jumping up and down. That's why I never like those simple wind. So let me try with the other ones that are not the simple wind and see if those are a little bit better. So remove and let's add the geometry pivot painter. Select them all and see if these ones are better. Or maybe it's a thing of them being instances that Unreal doesn't really like it. Oh, wait, no. All right, I need to change the density. The computer had like a mini heart attack when I did that. So 0.5, yeah, that's it. All right, so this one looks a lot better. So yeah, in case, if you're wondering why your trees are looking like really awful, well, it is because there are those simple wind are not prepared for nanite, and the pivot painter are. So I can see already my machine starting to doubt my decisions. So if I go editor preferences and search for memory, if we go all the way down, I should have this show frame rate and memory, and I can turn this on, and now I should have this thing up there reminding me of how much am I hoarding my computer. And it's not that bad. I'm still good. So I'm going to keep painting these dudes right here. Let's go nuts. Let's see if we can make Unreal Engine 5.2 break. And I mean break in the terms of not FPS, but actually that memory, video memory exhaustion. Oh my God, Google, help me. All right, that's it. Now my machine is really, really doubting my my decisions. That's it. So they look a little bit uncanny because they're all, the same size and everything. But first of all, I'm not getting the pool memory thing. And I'm sure that just by using a couple of these, and you can test it by yourself, if you download this thing for 5.1 and you throw in these many trees, for sure, two things are going to happen. The first thing is that you're going to have the memory pool thing red blinking up there saying that, the pool is too big and the thing is not going to be working well. Or it may be, let me just because my machine is really starting to be hard, I'm going to switch these to scalability high. And this might prompt that issue there. No, it didn't. Cool. And I'm going to drop a little bit more my screen percentage to 50%. And this should give me back a little bit of FPSs on my side. And the actual, prettiness of the thing is not going to be much affected. So maybe the thing is that they lower the texture. Oh, this is great. Even I don't know how this thing works. Even when I switch versions of Unreal, and this is a brand new compiled version of it, all my filters came from my old thing, from my old, from 5.11, which is crazy, right? Like they don't know each other. They are not from the same launcher, and still somehow I got these filters. So this information is somewhere, right? That is even apart from the install directory of Unreal. But great, this is good. So now I can switch to textures and I can go settings and I can change this to columns. And now I can go and see the actual size. So dimensions, here it is. And if I go 1 click, 2 clicks, no, they didn't chip out on the texture size. These are a bunch of 8K textures working all together here for sure. I know. I won't do it because I don't want to steal more time out of you. We have been running this live for an hour and a half. But yeah, I mean, these for sure won't run in 5.1. And if one of you wants to do, its own test, I will this week for sure start comparing, a 1-to-1, the same level open in 5.1 and in 5.2 and see how good it's running. But I think I have good news in this regard, having all these foliage there. Maybe we should add a couple of materials to the ground, 8K materials to the ground, and see if this thing holds. So let's do it. So, the greatest thing after, Unreal Engine 5 is this. Having your instance foliage actor as an actual actor, and you being able to, hide it. That is like, I don't know, like white breath or something like that, right? Cool. So now we have this thing here and we can go and save everything just because we can, right? And we are going to go to our Quixel bridge. And from the bridge, we're going to import a couple of 8K textures for that landscape, right? So if we go here and make a scan here and, right. So I have this one and it's medium quality. So I want the highest quality of it. Maybe I'm going to break this thing down just by using this higher quality, but who cares? Let's do it. So I want that one and I want the highest quality also of this one. So start downloading that one. It's amazing how I can be, live broadcasting and at the same time, downloading things from the internet. It's a dumb idea, but let me know. Let me know if the things start, breaking on your side. So I'm going to need a couple more. So I'm going to this Megascan home, and I'm going to surface, and I need a couple of grass maybe, or gravel, or ground. This one should be the one. All right, let's download, I don't know, Savannah. Why not, right? Let's go. And we need these little rocks here. Those looks amazing too. And I believe we need one more. I can't remember how many. I believe it's 5. The number of layers from that the Unreal Sensei has on his material. But yeah, this one looks also amazing. So just for that, I'm going to download it. Once everything is downloaded, I should be able to have them here. And I wish I can do like a surface. Can I? Yeah, just surfaces. Cool. So I'm still waiting for a couple of those that I'm downloading from here to appear here. Will they appear pretty soon? I'm guessing they will. So I'm going to read a couple of comments. So, yeah, thanks so much for your advice. By the way, it means a lot. You mean in terms of, using Brushify? For sure. Yeah, those are going to give you a very nice, result. And the good thing is that you're going to be working non-destructive inside Unreal Engine. So you're going to be able to, change your mind and have different iterations of your landscape and have everything working inside the engine. Because again, you could go Gaia and you go, use TerraGen or Earth Factory or something like that is called, and you can create like really amazing, things. But then, they are going to be exported in some sort of image format, and you're going to lose a lot of quality there. And then you're going to end up with a thing that if you want to change it, then you need to go back to Gaia or to TerraGen and play with the thing and then bring it back. And it's not like the best workflow ever. You're going to have a lot of quality there. So if you're a savvy, connoisseur of how to create landscape outside, before Unreal was a thing, then I would suggest to you to go there and learn, or bring your stuff from outside. But if you're learning how to do it, like to really manage yourself around Unreal Engine tools and having the aid of using things like Brushify, for sure, go for it. That is the way to go. At least get 1 or 2 of their content. And those are going to look for things that are really different in terms of the shape of the brushes that you're going to get. And yeah, get for some, I don't know, big mountain thing, and some sort of, plain landscape also. And you're going to be totally covered there. And yeah, you are awesome, Amber. I want to see, no, I cannot say that. I want to see that animal that you work with on your short, but I cannot say I want to see because people are going to think that I want to see other things. You can type it in the chat, the thing that that I meant. All right, amazing. So this thing never happened? Yeah, I want to see your beaver. No, it's not like that. It's a true beaver. It's a fake beaver. Yeah, exactly. She creates these wonderful music videos and the life of these beavers. And she's doing, she's moving heavens and earth, to make those beavers live inside Unreal. And last thing that I heard, they are looking pretty good. They have hair and they have fur and they're moving. And she's taken the full course at CG Pro about characters. So yeah, I want to catch on your work. All right, it's happening. Cool. Of course. All right, so they did download, but for some reason, Quixel Bridge doesn't update the filter. So I'm going to drop the filter, and I'm guessing they should be around here. Nope. What if I go here and then back there? Should I have... All right, now they're here. So I have this rock and I have this ground and this one. I'm going to... I don't know if I can select them all. No. Can I select more than one like this? Wait, what? What are you? Oh, all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 just in case. And what would happen if I hit medium quality? No, you're going to start downloading them again. Nope. My guess is that it used whatever it had. So some will be high quality, some will be medium quality. All right, that's it. Let's see if everything is here. So surfaces, yeah, I have a bunch of them here. So what I want to do now is to switch this to textures, and you can see all those pretty nice textures there. And I should be able to select this. Oh, look at that. So this is a thing. So I'm having the streaming pool thing, and I have not added anything to the scene. Which means, this is performing as Unreal Engine 4 and, an all-time, thing about Unreal. But this time around, I believe that if we change just the scalability setting just for the textures to cinematic, bam, there's no longer there. So that is working. We're not getting the exhaustion. And that was the thing, like whenever we were hitting the top of the pool, then Unreal was showing, and I mean, that was in 5.1. 5.003 was good in that regard. They really, make that an issue in 5.1, and I believe we're in the, let's see, I'm maybe counting the chicks before they hatch. But let me see. I'm going to turn on this thing here, and let's go. So material, color A, and I'm going to color B, and the color Z, here, here, here. And, all right, I believe I need to use this mask C. Let me see. Yeah, exactly. So I need to do that for everybody. So this thing is like, you can use just a roughness, channel to it, but if you have combined textures for this thing is how is this called? This is like a the roughness is just one of the channels. You have a bunch of different channels here, so you might need to, and again, this is on the Unreal Sensei material, so you will need to use this so you have access, right, to this particular mask, right? So that's it. And now here, there, material D. How many more? Just one more. That's good. All right. There it is. Nope. I click on the wrong thing. So here, there. Now here, and here, and that's it. Now we start adding those textures inside here. Let's do it. So let me double click here, and I can control space. So I should have this thing here. So I need to go convert this to tiles again, drop this thing, and go to my mega scans surface. Now I turn on again textures, and I should be able. So on my, so the first material from this guy is the actual slope material. So this should be like a rock map, right? So I'm not going to assign nothing there for now. I'm going to start with the B, and this one is going to be like this mossy thing. So this and these for normal, and oh my god, this one doesn't have. Oh. Huh. So I'm not going to use this one just because it doesn't have roughness material for some particular reason. So yeah, all right, I'm going to cheat and just use this one there. The same. It's going to choose the green color of it to drive the roughness, which might not be the best thing in the world, but it is what it is. So this is good. And then I'm going to add this one there, this one there, this one there. And let's go out it. And now this one. All right, maybe one of these is this. But for some reason it's not in the same order. We're going to fix that one in the end. So now I have rocks and this rock and this rock. And now we should have this one populated with savanna and savanna and savanna. And do we have one more? No, we got more than we wanted. So I want to check out this first one right here, right? That I choose this one. So I'm going to click there. And even though I have this texture thing, I can hit Control B and that should be like browse. And now, even though it's not in some sort of alphabetical correct order, because it was not in order while filtered, I can grab it there and now assign it as it should. Now everything should be fine. So cool. This is done. Let's save this before, anything happens. Again, we are working on this very, very, new thing now, right? Recently compiled, not ready for production in any ways. So now I can close this. Let me, make this gone. So let's go build all landscape. I should have not done that. I should have only... No, it's dead. I killed it. All right, I saved. So I believe it's going to be as easy as going here. And yeah, that's the thing of working, of going commando in this thing and, be a pathfinder and use things that are not ready by any means for production. So where are you in Real Engine? Don't hide. Go away and turn on again, please. There it is. All right. So, all right, this one has been a long one. I'm almost reaching. So let's break a record. Let's do a 2-hour live stream. All right. So we are 15 minutes from the end, and I'm just going to be bothering you for a couple more minutes. So hang in there. We're going to make it happen. The first 2-hour live stream from the Unreal Menagerie, the Gabriel Unreal Menagerie thing. All right. Oh my God. My computer is dying. Now it's good. All right. So again, if you're going to build the landscape, just build the landscape, not all landscape. So you need what? Physical material. All right. Let's build that one. Physical material only, and that is good. Cool. All right. We're safe. All right, let's do it. Now, let's paint a little bit to show all those different textures. Because again, let me just remind you, for all of you who are maybe a little bit nodding and sleepy, that we are trying to make Unreal Engine 5.2 break, right? I want that exhaustion of memory thing, and I want to see if it is possible now with this new version, right? So I'm going to start painting a couple of these. So maybe, these material C. I'm going to paint around here. Oh, let me put this thing at a full strength, right? That's it. So I have a little bit of, dirt. Yeah. Or that's it. And now we can play with the rock, and let's paint some rocks around. Doesn't matter. We're just testing. And let's paint this last one, just, across everything. So at some point, if I, place myself, let me paint material B a little bit here. So now we should have, like, if we look this way, we should have all the different textures right there. So these are all 8K textures. And now let's go selection, and let's commit the crime of saving before anything. And then turning on the instant foliage. Now if we go a little bit below, you can see that our textual streaming pool is way over what, let me just check if that is true. I'm guessing it's not true. Because I believe the scalability settings went haywire when the thing went crashing down. So I'm going to set them to high and my texture to cinematics and my thingy percentage to 50%. Now I should have a little bit more FPS on my side. Remember, I'm running OBS and live streaming at the same time. That is really stealing up a lot of my computer power right there. But as you see, we are not getting that pesky issue, and that is amazing. That is more than amazing. So we have still a couple more minutes, and I want to take it one notch over, and that is using the RVTs. Oh, I don't know if we're going to be able to do it simply because I'm guessing that by default Unreal doesn't come with virtual texture turns on. No, and this is going to prompt a full shader compiling. We're not going to have time for that by any means. But that being said, this is a test that we are going to keep doing, and I'm going to inform you, in our next. So our next live broadcasting, we should be talking about, this thing here at the top, and this is the VR virtual reality mode. It has its own, shortcut like Shift V, which is going to be amazing, right? So we're going to be testing that. You're going to see me with my, VR helmet working on this thing. It's going to be hilarious for sure. I'm going to have, my camera somewhere around here so you can watch me doing the full moving things around with my Jetty powers. And yeah, and for sure I'm going to keep, informing you of anything that I have discovered. Like the big thing that I wanted to test was if I could make 5.2 fail, with a very dense and heavy, video memory wise consuming scene. And we just done that. And Real 5.2, it's like beasting it out. So this is a big plus, I'm really hoping for 5.2 now that I know this, because there are a couple of things that were not working too well in terms of the hungriness of Unreal Engine texture-wise. And I'm happy. I'm really happy. My Unreal is not happy. It's running at 17 FPS. And, this is a 3070. It's not the biggest thing. It's not the biggest dog around anymore, but by any means, it's not too shabby. So again, this is working, right? And let me just give you a last tip of the day, and that is for trees and for nanite in general. There is a command that you can use to make nanites a little bit more accessible and more frame rate amicable. So you're going to type nanite edge, or nanite, not mamite, nanite, edge, max edge, there it is. So this thing right here, r.nanite max edge per pixel, max pixel per edge. If you hit enter and we take a look at the output log, you're going to see that by default is 1. And if you take it lower, what it will do, like this thing is like moving the LOD further or closer to the camera. So if you want to take it further, you take it higher than 1. So let's test it with 3, and that's it. Now you can see that I have a couple bit more FPS, like I jumped to 20 some, and that is because now Nanite is cooling those triangles faster, not faster, earlier. So we're going to have a worse quality back there, right? So let me stand in one corner of this thing so we can watch almost the whole thing. So what it's doing is, and I can even take it further, like maybe 5. And you can see that it changed a little bit, but from there on, and now I have a little bit more FPS, like 20 some. Like this one is great when you're using, big details scenes like this one, having a bunch of trees, they are going to be holding on at a distance, and you're going to have also a little bit of popping, right? If you start moving a little bit slower, you're going to see that popping happen, around there. So don't abuse it, because the thing of having those nanite is to be able to draw all those things. So yeah, take it to a little bit higher, but not that high, right? All right, that being said, it's 10 minutes before. Am I Brazilian? No, I am Venezuelan, and I'm living currently in Argentina. So I have a bunch of different accents, in my mind. Some people, when they hear me talking in English, at first they think that I have a concussion. Then they realize that I'm Canadian. And then they say, all right, this dude is from, South America, somewhere there. Hello, Brendan. No, I'm Venezuelan, and I'm not that bad at speaking English. If I really try, I can really pass, some sort of pronunciation thing. But then, I'm thinking Unreal and trying to talk in English, and sometimes it gets hard. It doesn't get hard at all, YouTube. All right, it gets really difficult to talk in Unreal and talk in English at the same time. I'm not that better in Spanish, to tell you the truth. But yeah, that's how things are. And with that, I want to thank you all for coming to this live lab. I hope that, it was at least amusing for you. It's a good way of spending a couple of hours, and to me, to have something in the YouTube channel so people can revise. And yeah, this is a thing now, right? This is the fourth one, and we are going to continue doing them. I really want you to bring your own questions and ideas, and let's test this thing. Let's be you, the actual content creator here. Let me know what you want to do, and I will do it, right there in Unreal. So everything Unreal wise, not everything, right? Let's do it. Bring me your ideas, bring me, what you want to test in 5.2. If you have some doubts or something that is not working right now in 5.1, let me know what it is, and I can test it in 5.2, so we can start, right, doing our round of debugging and knowing if things are going to be better. As for sure, I know that they're going to be, with this new version. And let's all hope, with cross fingers, to the GDC, and see what is this Unreal Engine 5.2 all about. And sure, with that one, the only thing that is amiss to say is that I love you all, and I want you all to be good to each other, and that I will catch you on the next one. And bye-bye.